Hi, I'm Rhea from Active Health Clinic, and today I wanted to talk about the fact that we're not unlucky people to get these chronic illnesses, and those that with invisible illnesses, it's not random. It's generally a series of multiple factors that do come together that lead to us being more likely to develop a chronic illness. And these can be things like predisposing factors, and they can be things like precipitating factors, so sort of around triggers, and they can also just be perpetuating factors too. So there are a number of predisposing factors that come to mind that them alone may not lead to a significant challenge around your health. They may, or some of them may actually collectively come together to have a significant impact on your health. And these can be things like obviously genetics, things like blood pressure dysregulation disorders or autonomic nervous system syndromes and disorders, things like mast cell activation, hypermobility, thyroid, iron issues. It can be a history of trauma or adverse childhood events. It can actually be personality traits, lifestyle factors. It can be things like sleep disorders, food intolerances, other health conditions that go on, and many more. So there are a number of factors, and the list is quite extensive, that can be things that lead to, again, on their own, they may not lead to chronic fatigue or chronic pain or whatever it might be, or the static intolerance, but a few of them may actually accumulate to be have more of a significant impact on our health, or for some people, one of them is enough. Then generally we'll have those factors, and then sometimes we'll actually notice either a period of time where we started to see a decline or a sudden impact where we did see a decline. And this is what we call our triggering events. Now, these can be things like infections and illnesses, but they can also be lifestyle factors and big events or life changes. They can also be physical, emotional stresses or traumas. They can be things like head injuries and concussions. They can also be coming back to some of those other conditions, not being aware, so undiagnosed or unmanaged, or poorly managed due to not knowing the full story, and many of those factors. So triggering factors can be singular, or they can be multiple over time too. And you put those two things together, and that increases our likelihood of developing an ongoing health-related challenge. And then we have we have perpetuating factors within that, which can be our booming and busting cycle, our fear avoidance cycle, doing too much or doing too little. That can also, perpetuating can be unresolved factors of predisposed traits or precipitating traits. It can also be maladaptive coping strategies based on not knowing the full picture or not knowing, having the health literacy around it, many different factors. And obviously these particular conditions can lead to disengagement from meaningful activities, which then can lead to other factors such as mental health decline or physical decline, and all of those kind of things. So as you can see and hear, and maybe what you've experienced, is that it can be a vicious cycle of health-related challenges that actually snowball into one another, which means that our health can become quite a challenge over time. And as I said, some of those factors can be a little bit sudden. So that list is not all inclusive. One that I definitely didn't mention, and I probably should have early on, is definitely mental health conditions as well can be a predisposing trait. And what we're talking about with predisposing traits is that they increase what we call our allostatic load, which is basically a fancy health terminology for stress, excessive stress load within our body. So them alone may be a lot, them together may be a lot. And as I said, they don't automatically lead to these conditions. There's a series of circumstances that tend to come together that increase our likelihood of having that health decline. So I hope you found this video helpful. As I said, it's not all inclusive. There's definitely many different areas within that could be expanded upon. And this is usually an hour-and-a-half assessment within our clinic. So when someone engages with our clinic for the first time, depending on their capacity, of course, we tend to spend more time with them on their initial assessment to get their entire picture, so that we're drawing out what actually led to their health story the way that it has presented, so that we have that ability to connect the dots for them. And for some people, connecting those dots can take months and years, depending on their story and their health team and their experiences and their health. So that's a big factor too, is that I'm just labeling all of these different things. You may know some of them, you may know all of them, you may be at the start of your journey, mid, all of those things. This is just a very straightforward video to begin with. So if you have any particular questions, please let us know, comment below, share this with someone who you think they may need it, and we'll send them our way. If you have any questions, comment below and we'll hear from you soon. Bye.